Hello everybody and welcome to episode 26, Cracked Peg. I'm your host, Andrew6657. On this week's show, we're going to go ahead and do the second part of my top 5 board games. It's actually making this a top 10 more or less. But I know there was a lot of people who wanted certain games on here, so we're going to, I did a poll and I tried to get everybody's input as much as possible, and all those games that did get a vote are on the list in no particular order, even though I do say it's in order. But whatever, I do what I want. It's my show. Alright guys, number 5 on this week's top 5 is Guess Who. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have played this game, and kind of self-explanatory, but basically both players have a little game board, and you flip it over, and all these little cards, they're on little hinges, they all fly up some way or another. And basically, both people have one. They take a card, and there's people's faces on them, and I don't know why I'm explaining this. Y'all know what it is. And you ask questions. You know, does the person you have glasses on? Yes or no? And then if they say yes, my person has glasses on. So then you eliminate all the people who don't have glasses on. That kind of thing. And you go back and forth, basically until you can figure out which character the other person has due to the clues. But I think once you played it long enough, I think we got to the point where we could tell within probably about 2 or 3 questions what the person was. So it wasn't a great game that I thought of. I mean, it was good for, I don't know, maybe a week or two. Came out in 1979, and I know they had revamped it a couple of times, but there was a commercial that came out when I was a youngster, and it actually showed the cards talking to each other on the commercial. And there was actually a disclaimer put at the bottom of the screen that said, "Cards do not actually talk." Well, I've never seen a talking card, and at that moment I didn't think the cards actually talked either. But it was the start of this full disclosure disclaimer, which basically says that the way you advertise a product on television needs to be more or less how you will have it in your house. So once you buy it at the store and you can take it home, it needs to be performing the same way that you saw it on TV. Otherwise, you could be up for a lawsuit or something like that. So, yeah, that's why they have to put things like cards do not actually talk, dolls do not move by themselves, and such things like that. I guess who. Number 4 on our list is Trouble. Now, I've played Trouble a couple of times, and if you don't know what Trouble, it's the one with the little poppy thing in the center, the poppable dice, which is actually made with a flexible piece of plastic that's under there. Air pressure causes the dice to, which is really good because it helps people not to cheat in games. And I'm pretty notorious for trying to roll a die on a certain number myself, but you know, you gotta win, right? Play to win. Now, Trouble is actually called Frustration! In the UK, and it's actually based on a traditional German game called Mensch ärgere dich nicht. I think that's how you say it, which basically means "Don't get angry, man," or "You mad, bro? You mad?" Something like that. But it's one of the first race games, and it's a lot similar to the game Sorry, which I like a lot better. And I like the way the pieces are made in Sorry because they kind of look like candy. But basically, you could knock people out. You can send them back to base or knock them out of the game and stuff like that. Which I think is probably one of the cooler things in a game when you can actually take people out of the game. So that was number 4, Trouble. Number 3 is Monopoly, which actually traces its roots all the way back to 1904, and it was actually called the Landlord's Game, and it was invented by a woman trying to more or less, she was trying to educate people about taxes in one way or another. And slowly the game evolved, and different people added certain things to it, and until it finally became a marketable board game. Until it finally became one thing in it, and owned by Milton Bradley, basically. But all the little properties in there, different little towns in Atlantic City. So if you were actually looking for the original Marvin Gardens, it's somewhere over there. There's also many variations of this game. Licensed games like Star Wars and I think Disney probably makes one, and probably a whole bunch of different monopolies, which use different kinds of monies and other things like that. And there's actually a Monopoly set that were designed and sent to prisoners of war during World War II. That these games actually had real maps. They had real money. They had a lot of like compasses and things like that in them that they sent to the POWs as basically like a charity type of thing, but it was actually tools in there to help the POWs escape from imprisonment from the Nazis. So that was a cool little bit of Monopoly history for you. But I know it's probably one of the only board games that actually had a lot of different video games that came with it. So I've actually played, and they're okay, I guess, for computer games and the like. Speaking of video games on the computer, Combo Breaker, The Game of Life was a great game, and actually only really liked to play it on my computer. And this was back in the 99-2000 time, where people actually played games on a computer and with a disc, and you put it in, and there's a game. Before everybody was caught up with social media and those type of things. And another combo breaker for you, Mousetrap, which I'm pretty sure nobody actually played the game of Mousetrap. Everybody just set up the little things that could fall down, and and then it was caught the mouse. It's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, it was a game. It was a game to have, I guess. I only had like garage sale versions of it, so I probably never had the full game. Number 2 takes us all the way back to 1966 with the invention of the game called Twister. Now, it was pretty controversial when it first came out. Milton Bradley was basically told that they were selling sex in a box. So they came under a lot of fire for having a game where you actually have to use your whole body to twist and move around other people. Which, if you don't know how to play Twister, is how you play. And there's a spinny thing, and it says left hand blue, so put your hand on blue, and then left arm or right arm green, so green over here, and you have to, that's how you play. I mean, I remember playing it in kindergarten, and like a lot of other people, but our teacher was really good. He let us wear our clothes when we played Twister, so that was nice. But so you put your hands on the different colored things, and basically, if your elbow or your knees touch the ground, you're eliminated, or you're out, or you fall on your butt, you're out. Which means you're down, which is just like football or water polo. Same rules. And there's actually a new Twister that just came out called Twister Dance, which is being promoted by Britney Spears. And basically, it comes with a little speaker that has lights around it, and you get the same dots, but the thing blinks different colors at you, which means that it'll play red, so you have to tap your foot on the red, and blue, and you tap your foot on the blue, kind of thing. So it's pretty good, what I've seen so far of it. So that was number 2, Twister. Alright guys, back with number 1, Fireball Island. Yeah. Now, this game was made in 1986. I think it was only produced this one year. It is probably one of the most notable games because it was one of the first 3D games. It was three-dimensional. The game board was raised up, the mold that they made it from. So, and there was actually little spaces you could go and different things like that, all on this highly detailed hand-painted board game. And it was beyond imaginable. It was a very complicated game. Not too complicated where you couldn't play it, but it was complicated to the point of all the little different pieces. Like they had little bridge pieces, and basically the object of the game is that you arrived on this island. You had to race to get to the top of the mountain with the god, I guess it's a god or a tiki-looking thing, was called Volcar, and you had to steal the magical jewel from Volcar all the way up at the top, and then you had to race back down. The game wasn't over once you just got the jewel, so you had to make your way all the way back down and get back on the boat and go home, which is kind of like, you know, how my dad got to America, but that's a different story. And one of the coolest things about this game is that at different points in the game you could push the mouth of the tiki guy and a ball would roll down at random, and it could knock your player over and you could lose a turn, and which added a lot more of depth to an actual board game than just your standard, you know, go to spaces or whatever. This game was only made at this time, and because of that, it is very, very rare. The complete game is probably around $200. I've seen just the board game itself go for quite a bit. I think even some of the pieces are like $15 a piece, just for a game piece, a little player. And it was probably one of the first games that I saw that really got me excited about playing a board game. And you got to remember, at this time in '86, I mean, Nintendo was already out, and it had a lot of competition for regular board games. But there was a really cool commercial that shows how you play the game and shows a lot of excitement for the game. So with that being said, thank you to Mr. Justin Surface for requesting that game be put on the list, because it was a game that even though I kind of remembered the commercial in my head, I couldn't remember the actual name of the game. So Fireball Island was that. So that's it for the top 5 list. Alright guys, if y'all been watching my show every week like I know you guys do, and I'm thankful for that, you will know that we have a contest going on currently until the end of next month, and the contest is a giveaway, and we have a couple of figures we're going to give away for this gun. This is a cosplay gun, LARPing gun, steampunk gun, whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty big. I'm a huge guy, and this fits pretty good to me. So anybody wants to, you can choose this. You can. There's a video that shows all these things I'm going to give away, or that you can have a chance to get, and you can check out that video. It tells you how to enter, or you just send me an email at mega_star_andro. That's megastarandro at yahoo.com. And just send me a message and saying that you want to be in the contest, and that which toy you want. You have the choice of the gun. You have the choice of Spider-Man. This is a Golden Age Spider-Man that I designed for a contest on Figurerealm.com. So you can win him, which I know a lot of people were interested in when it first came out. So. And I think he's on my list of worst customs too, but you can have a chance to own him. We have Classic Superstars. I know a lot of people on the poll said that they wanted a Classic Superstars wrestling action figure. This is Razor Ramon in a very rare red gear. I repainted all of them actually to get this red gear on him. So he was purple, now he's red. I like a lot. It looks pretty. I just might keep this one. No, if you guys want it, you can have it. So. Them's the rules. And last but not least, custom Hulk Hogan Rumbler, the only Hogan Rumbler I've ever made, and probably the only one I'll ever make for Hulk Hogan, because I don't know how popular Hulk Hogan is, but if you guys want this little Rumbler hand painted by me, because I'm famous for all the Rumblers I do, go ahead and shoot me an email, and just tell me your name so I can have a name to write down, so I don't have to write down like email address of like, Hulk Hogan Rules 24 or something like that. Send me an actual name, just your first name if you want, and tell me which toy you want to give away, what you want to win in the giveaway, and we'll hook you up. This weekend I worked on, I don't know why, I wanted to finish this guy for Hollywood Hogan Hasbro, so I don't know if it still works, but went ahead, got the flames and the lightning and stuff like that painted on him and stuff. And, I'm going to go ahead and put him on eBay pretty soon, see if you guys want to get a hold of this. Looks pretty nice to me, huh? So, anyways, guys, I don't know if there's anything else we need to talk about, but any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below in that comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. Also follow me on Tumblr. I occasionally post things there. You can follow me on Formspring, and I'm also on Tout too. I'm already on Tout, so if you need to hit me up on any one of those, just holler at me. Same Andro6657 everywhere. So, anyways, that's all the time we have for the show. Don't forget, holler at your boy. Customize some Hasbro toys. And I'll see you later.